Welcome back to Talkin' Winter Ops and our special series highlighting organizations working in the winter operations and road weather space. I'm Rick Nelson, and on behalf of the AASHTO Committee on Maintenance, their Maintenance Operations Technical Working Group, and the Winter Weather Management Technical Service Program, we're proud to host the 2024 National Winter Maintenance and Road Weather Briefing. These briefings give organizations an opportunity to showcase their efforts to help you achieve your winter maintenance mission. Today, we're featuring the Clear Roads Pooled Fund Study, and with us is Craig.bargfrede, Winter Operations Administrator at the Iowa DOT and Chair of Clear Roads. Hi, Craig.
Hi, Rick.
So, Craig, tell us a little bit about Clear Roads, and if you don't mind, go ahead and launch into your presentation and tell us what you've been up to this last year.
Very good. Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to share information regarding Clear Roads and the Pool Fund and all the neat things that we are doing to support winter operations across the country. So if you'd like to go to the next slide.
Okay.
This just gives you an overview of all of the states that are members of the Clear Roads Pool Fund. Currently, we have 39 member states. And as you can see by the map, you can see which states are participating. Originally, we started 20 years ago with 5 states here in the Midwest. And obviously, we have grown significantly since then. We used to basically say it was the snow belt states, but as you can see again by the map, it does not just include snow belt states. Texas, Arizona, California, those areas are members as well. We're also getting interest from a couple other states, Tennessee and Georgia, that have expressed interest in joining our group. Great people, great DOTs to work with. Go ahead to the next one, Rick. So what are our core activities of this group? Primarily, we are focused at winter operations and all of the pieces and parts that go into winter operations. We look at various things from de-icers, chemicals, equipment, technology transfer, innovative techniques that are out there, training. It's a wide range of topics that we delve into. And I said primarily winter operations. There are instances where members pose questions and are looking for information from the membership on other maintenance activities or other maintenance problems that they may have in their state that may not be directly related to winter operations. One of the big benefits that we see as a member of this pool fund is just the ability to share information with 39 states across the country. We get to share ideas, and we can delve into topics and problems that states are experiencing to help one another out as we do our day-to-day operations. So if we'd like to go to the next one, Rick. This is our website. This is the place to go. And if you haven't seen or haven't been on the Clear Roads website, I strongly recommend you take some time and go out there. There is just a tremendous amount of information on the pool fund itself and on all the various projects that we have completed that are currently underway, and then the projects that we're going to be talking about here later on in this presentation that are just getting started. You can see the minutes that we post from our various spring and fall meetings, and there's other training materials that are available on these regarding these projects on this website. We also post the various webinars that are conducted. So once each project, for example, is completed, we have a project completion webinar where the principal investigator provides an overview of the project, what was developed, and what is available for these states and the members to utilize. So let's go to the next one, Rick. And we'll get into some of the new projects and synthesis projects that we have are just getting underway that were voted on and approved by the group here in April at our spring meeting. First of all, this project, the first one there with toxicity standards, was one that was introduced to the group by Doug McBroom out of Montana. And this was kind of a second phase, if you will, from a previous project that we completed on de-icers. This one is really focused in on toxicity levels. The next one there is pretreatment methods for events beginning as rain. This has been a topic of quite a bit of discussion amongst the group as to what's a best practice? How do I handle treatment for an event that begins as a rain event? Typically, we're not able to go out and pre-treat when the event starts as rain because basically we're wasting material. So this one is gathering a lot of best practices that states are using for events such as this one. Oh, let's go to the next one. The next series of projects that we're just getting underway here, salt management training for non-DOT end users. So each state has various levels of environmental issues that we deal with. This one is actually focused on non-DOT users. So we all have contractors that are out there plowing, applying salt to parking lots, whether it be a business such as Walmart or a large corporation or other areas, apartment buildings, so on, that tend to overuse salt and then have some environmental impacts. What this one is going to do is basically help develop some training materials that can be provided to these contractors to help get them to understand the implications and the overuse of salt and winter materials. The next one that we are just getting started is basically looking at how states are utilizing, if they are utilizing, anything like our artificial intelligence or camera photos to update current road conditions. This again is one where we're trying to gather information from the various states that have tried this to find out the good and the bad, if this worked successfully, if it really portrayed the accurate picture of what was going on out there on the system or not. So this again is a synthesis project that is gathering best practices. Next one, please. So the next project that came forth from Mark Goldstein out of Mass is one that's really looking down the road here. And this is one to gather information on emerging technologies, trends out there in the industry, innovations that are coming forth, and just what is going to be the state of practice, if you will, by 2030, looking down the road. This is going to help us help the DOTs in positioning ourselves from not only an operational perspective, but maybe from a budget perspective, an equipment perspective, looking at all of those various parts that go into the overall operation. The next one there was brought forward by Clay Adams out of Texas, and that's looking at the status of AVL GPS for winter operations. Many of the member states have are utilizing or are in the process of utilizing AVL GPS. There's various levels of what I would call proficiency, various levels of information that's being gathered by these states. Kansas happens to be a state that is just in the early stages of applying this technology, and they're very interested in finding out what information states gather, how they use that information, how they display that information, and again, just some best practices, if you will. We've done a number of projects around AVL GPS, so this just is another one in a long series of projects focusing on this type of technology. Okay, let's go to the next one, please. Research implementation best practices. This one was brought forth by Mike out of Nebraska, and this has also been an area of interest within our group. We're very good at identifying problems, issues that need to be solved, and then getting those problem statements into a project that is then put under contract, and a product or a best practice or whatever the end product for the project is then developed. But it seems like we're not as good as we should be in the area of implementation and how do we gather the information as to how states are implementing these various projects. So this project is focused on gathering basically, again, best practices of how states are sharing the information with their management, with their leadership, and then down at the individual operator level. So again, this is one that is focused on strictly implementation of the research that has been produced. Okay, let's shift to the next one. So we have a number of ongoing initiatives that we do as Clear Roads, and one is the annual survey of winter maintenance data. And as you can see here on the slide, we've been doing this about 9 years now. And basically what we do at the end of each winter season, a survey, very comprehensive survey is sent out to all the state members that gathers information from everything from material usage, and then that is further broken out into liquid and solid materials being used, costs associated with those materials, costs for labor, costs for equipment. We gather lane mile information, we gather equipment information, and all this is plugged into a database that anyone can go on the Clear Roads website and look at the map of the United States, and they can see each individual state. As they click on that state, there's a bunch of drop downs that you can drill down into and see the various information as reported by those individual states. I know, for example, Wisconsin has used that extensively as they've developed their liquid program and the use of brine. They are comparing liquid usage to some of their neighbor states, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, as they've been promoting the program and the use of liquids and brine across their state. Just one example. You'll also see there at the last sentence, the last 3 years of this survey, we've incorporated the Winter Severity Index, the AASHTO data, as well as what the individual states have been reporting through this survey, just to kind of give you an idea of the severity of the winter and how that impacted each state. Okay, let's go to the next one. So the next ongoing initiative is the Clear Roads Qualified Products List, or QPL. Actually, that list was generated originally from the Pacific Northwest Snowfighters Group. Back in 2018, the ownership, if you will, of the QPL transferred from the PNS group over to Clear Roads. So we assumed responsibility of the day-to-day management of the QPL and all the information associated with the QPL. When that happened, what we did was we formed a subcommittee within the Clear Roads membership that their job is to basically manage the QPL. The QPL is a living, breathing document and source of information. And so this is a little different than some of the other projects that we do, which are basically a one and done type of situation. QPL is ongoing, and we continue to update and improve the QPL, if you will. So a lot of things since we took it over in 2018 have happened. One thing right away is we cleaned up the list. There were actually a a number of products on the list that were actually no longer being used or manufactured and sold by some of the vendors. We updated test protocols and product specifications, and we established a process, if you will, for vendors to submit new products for testing and approval to then be posted on the QPL. One of the other things that we did was we, as a group, voted and approved to have a chemist. And right now, Jasmine Donliger out of the Nebraska DOT is the chemist representative that sits on Clear Roads and attends all the meetings and provides that level of expertise from a chemical standpoint whenever we start talking about various products and we get into those discussions that are quite in depth sometimes regarding de-icers, chemical properties, testing, all those associated things. So if you are interested in looking at the QPL, again, if you go to our website, all the information related to the QPL is found on our Clear Roads website. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next initiative that we have going on is a winter maintenance product proficiency program. And this is one that we are currently working on with AASHTO to implement this program, and we see it as a very useful tool for not only the DOTs but for vendors and laboratories as well. This is basically one where we're in the process of registering and enrolling laboratories that can do testing for various products. Right now, our goal is to get a minimum of 17 laboratories signed up to this program. Right now, the enrollment is open, and I believe the deadline for enrollment for these laboratories is September of this year. And then hopefully we're able to move forward with more of the behind-the-scenes mechanics of the sample program and how the program is going to work. So more information to really come out from Clear Roads on this program once it's formalized and established. Okay, let's go to the next one, please. Related to the previous survey that I talked about, we are also keeping an online equipment database. A lot of discussion, a lot of interest in various pieces of equipment that various DOTs utilize. A lot of us have different types of trucks, different setup of trucks, different pieces of equipment that we use in our overall operations. This database is one where we enter in the types of trucks, the types of blowers, again, anything used in winter operations. And so other states can look at this database and pull in and see what type of equipment is being utilized. They can find out information, the good and the bad, with those pieces of equipment, and really help them, guide them, if you will, as they look towards their equipment program, their future needs of equipment, helps them with budget planning and all of that associated information that's required for a good, solid equipment program. We update this on a regular basis. I believe we typically shoot to update this annually. And so the information posted on the website typically is pretty up to date. Okay, let's go to the next one. So the next series of slides, and I'm not going to delve into each one of these, are the current research and synthesis projects that we have in progress. If you look at the numbers on the left-hand side of the slide, that is the actual project number. So for example, the salt shed design template project is actually a project that we contracted in 2020 and so on. So as you look at those numbers, that's what the first couple of numbers mean. again, just to highlight a couple here, I'm going to go back to the salt shed designs. So this is one looking at the various kinds of designs that states have across the country. It's not going to be, the final product is not going to be a set of architectural final drawings, if you will, but a basic design, a basic template that states can use then to take to an architect and finalize drawings based on their requirements and specifications. The other one I want to highlight on here is the 21-02, and that is one that we're looking at corrosion on equipment, what the different chemicals and salt, all the corrosive effects. So how do we prevent that corrosion from happening? So this is one that's we're looking at best practices. Again, if you go to the Clear Roads website and you look at these different project numbers that we have highlighted here on the left-hand side of the slide, that's what you can use to find the different product or project, if you will, and look at more information. So there's information on the website from basically when the project started all the way through the project as far as updates, and then if the project, once the project is completed, we will have that final webinar posted as well. Let's go to the next one. So this just continues on with the various projects that we have in place. One I'd like to highlight here that is of very interest of myself and others here in Iowa is the use of dashboards in winter operations. We are a big AVL state. We are a big believer in dashboards. So I'm always looking for new and innovative ways of taking that information being generated through our AVL system and then posting that on a dashboard for use by our leadership, management, and by our individual staff members and garages. Next one, please. Again, just a continuation of current projects, and as you can see, these all start in 23, so these all were started last year in 2023. Again, to highlight a couple of them, the very first one there is the development of a library of public service announcements and public service information. A lot of discussion about this and a lot of differences in operationally how information is shared by the DOTs with the public. So at the end of the day, what this is going to do is develop a series of products that DOTs can then take and utilize and tweak just a bit to their various state and DOT. Another one that's had a lot of interest is 23-S1, and that's the management of video recording and images taken from truck-mounted cameras. A lot of DOTs now are really getting into this realm of forward-facing cameras, rear-facing cameras, and so a lot of questions residing around, is that public information? Is it strictly DOT information? What do I do with, how do I store these images? How long do I store these images? What are the legal ramifications? A lot of those questions are all tied in with this synthesis project. And then the last one is another interesting one, and that ties in the use of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, for winter maintenance. I know that there's a lot of different examples of uses for UAVs in other maintenance activities, but this one is looking at how we can utilize this technology for winter operations, just to get a picture of what's going on out of the system as an example. Okay, let's go to the next one. So we have a couple slides here on some recently completed projects. And again, if you go to our Clear Roads webpage, you can find all of these various projects with all the information associated and the final products with these projects. So this is one here, 1806 standard test procedures for ice melting capacity. This is actually one where we took the rocker test as developed by Nebraska. We evaluated it for use as a national standard, and it has been provisionally approved by AASHTO as a standard for measuring ice melting capacity. Again, very, very interesting and very applicable project here for use by various states. Let's go to the next one, please. This one was recently completed as well, and that's looking at how we can use GIS information to highlight areas along the roadway that are very sensitive to salt and de-icing materials. We're all very concerned about the environment. We're concerned about the impacts that our de-icing materials and winter operations have on the environment. And so this is one that we can use to map out and display information and show what kind of impact from a environmental perspective our materials are having on various parts of the road segments out there. Okay, next one, please. I had talked earlier about a follow-on project that Doug McBroom had introduced, focused on toxicity. This project here, 21-03, is the one that that project came from. This one here was looking at the efficacy and the impacts of non-chloride de-icers. But one of the things we've found through this research is there really isn't a lot of good standard guidelines or information with respect to BOD, the biological oxygen demand, and COD. We know that there are some products out there that the BOD and COD levels are quite high. Matter of fact, they're really, if you really drill down in, they're quite, they're basically off the charts. And so this is, the follow-on project was taken from this one to really drill down in to the toxicity levels. This one here really looked at the information and helped us kind of develop some of the specifications, if you will, that are then applied to our qualified products list. Okay, next one, please. Another recent project completion was one, again, utilizing AVL data to calculate plow cycle times. Route optimization and being able to adjust routes on the fly is one that's of very high interest to our group. And so this one developed a methodology and a visualization tool that agencies can use to track plows in real time. And if we need to make adjustments on the fly, this tool will allow us to do that. So really one that's been utilized quite a bit, or potentially will be utilized quite a bit, utilizing AVL data. Next one, please. The next one that was just recently completed was one that was evaluating electric vehicle technologies and alternative fuels for winter operations. With the trend and that's been happening in electric vehicles, this one is really looking at best management practices and really kind of information on how DOTs have been transitioning and utilizing the electric vehicle technology and the alternative fuels. So if this one piques your interest, I suggest, again, going out to our website and take a look at the project information. Okay, next one, please. So since our focus is obviously on winter operations primarily, winter driving safety is a one that is very high on our priority list. And so we do have a number of products available on our website, everything from information to provide to the public on winter survival kits, vehicle preparations, what to prepare for in the case of winter storms, what to do if you become stranded. This ties in with the project that we currently have underway with the development of the public service announcement library. So if DOTs or other agencies out there are looking for new innovative products to help promote winter driving safety, we have a large number of products available on our website, all linked to this topic of winter driving safety. Next one, please. I mentioned training early on. We have developed a large number of modules covering snowplow operator and winter operations type training. Right now we have 22 different modules covering a large number of aspects of winter operations. Each module has a comprehensive PowerPoint packet, an instructor guide, and then student evaluations. So it's a complete package that states can utilize, other agencies can utilize in their training. You don't have to start from scratch. And these modules are very much standalone modules. You can customize them and incorporate them into your winter training program. One note we have on here, as of June of this year, we've had over 360 requests for access to this training. Again, if you are interested in finding more about the training that we have available out there, you can either go to the website or contact Greg.waidley. We've listed his phone number and email address here on the slide. Greg is with CTC and Associates. He manages the day-to-day aspects of Clear Roads. He can help you out, get that material. Next slide, please. The next one here, I'm going to say, is probably one of our biggest recent success stories, and that's the whole issue surrounding the entry-level driver's training that was implemented here just a few years ago. We saw this requirement coming before it was actually in place. We developed this as a standalone project and basically developed a standalone set of training materials that any state, any public entity can take these materials to utilize and execute in their training program. We also have train the trainer materials that can assist these agencies in developing their core of trainers. This is all free of charge, so there's no cost to any of these training materials. As you can see there, we've had over 1,300 requests for this training from across the United States. Very, very successful program that we have developed. Okay, let's go to the next one, Rick. I just want to highlight again, www.clearroads.org is our website. You can go to that website and see all the various projects that I just reviewed, lots of information, training materials, QPL are all located on this website. Next. So I challenge you, if you're a state out there that has not become a member of Clear Roads, please get in touch with myself or Greg Waidley, and we can talk to you about membership in Clear Roads. If you are a member of Clear Roads, you can go on the website and find out who your agency's representative is. That person can help guide you to finding out more information or bring project ideas to the table. At the end of the day, our goal is to do whatever we can to help DOTs, help agencies do their jobs better quicker, faster, and more efficient. Next slide. With that, this is the last slide I have in the presentation. I have listed contact information for myself. Tom Peters, he is the technical lead from the Minnesota DOT. MnDOT is actually the DOT that manages the pool fund. They manage all the contracting and the funds that we commit to each year that goes in to pay for the research that we conduct. And then the administrative piece on a day-to-day basis is accomplished by Greg Waidley with CTC and Associates. His contact information is there as well. With that, Rick, that's what I have today, and I hope this information has been beneficial and given everyone here update as to what we are doing from a Clear Roads perspective.
Well, Craig, Clear Roads has got a tremendous amount of activity underway. Really, really quality stuff. I would encourage everyone to go out and take a peek at your website and see what you've got out there. It seems like just about any kind of a problem or issue that folks may wrestle with, it seems like Clear Roads has taken a peek at it and provided some information.
That's absolutely right. And when you look at the membership and how it's grown, there's such a valuable resource there when states do have issues or problems that they can just reach out and tap into very quickly, regardless of whether we're physically face to face at one of our meetings or we're back at our own states in between meetings. I know there's a lot of email traffic that goes back and forth between state members, in between meetings, asking questions and looking for information. A lot of camaraderie. I have yet to work with such a solid group as I have with Clear Roads. They are such a wonderful group to work with and such professionals.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Craig, thanks so much for giving us an update on Clear Roads. What we'll do is we'll post your contact information, Greg's information, below the video and also in the show notes for the podcast.
Very good.
You can also listen to all the briefings and other Talkin' Winter Ops episodes on our website, talkinwinterops.com, or wherever you get your podcast content. Video versions are available on our Talkin' Winter Ops YouTube channel. Until next time, thanks for tuning in and stay safe out there.